Titania is one of the best lumberjackables. I just don't own one yet, Krolek. Once I get one, I think I would run a Titania. I don't own one, but Titania is where we're going next with this deck. Yeah, Krolek. I'll probably cut the Edric and run the Titania next. But anyway, let's go back to Pauper for a moment. Just can't do anything without the forest. And I think that's where the deck just wants to have that many forests. Yeah, let's just give it a little more stability. And maybe some land recursion. This is another untap effect. Threshold untap up to 3 lands. That seems cool. Oh, I probably was just supposed to bolt that. Why am I playing with the Lumberjack? Let's just throw it away. Hang on, I still can. I can Simeon. Nope, I didn't have a draw stop though. Burn plus Zoo hybrid would just be better. Here's Satyr. I was supposed to toast this guy. Oh, he's also an empath deck. Okay. Neat. Okay, so he told me he based this deck roughly off of what I built. That's cool. I think the strongest card that I found not necessarily was the Lumberjack, but was probably the Empath. To be honest with you guys, that's neat. Yeah, we're toast unless we can stop him from ramping to the Crusher. Yeah, we're toast. We can't do this off one land. Just run some Harvest Worms. Yeah, I mean, like if this isn't gonna work, we can cut this type of mana for the deck. We can go somewhere else with the deck. The deck just needs more force. I mean, some of these lands can go back into the sideboard, like Mortuary's better when we know they actually have removal for some of the creatures, when we'd actually need to get them back. I just don't know about this card in general, though. And what else could be trimmed? I mean, even though Wayfarer, the best interaction that Wayfarer has is like turn 1 Wayfarer into sacrifice him, put in a double land. We don't need to run this much double lands. This many double lands. Like for the original build was only running, I think, 7. I was running how many each? I mean, the problem is if you start cutting on the Simians and the Lotus Petals, you once you start cutting petals and guides, you make the mana base unable to pull off the red more easily. We just made a huge change, didn't we, if I'm doing that? I don't know if I'm ready to cut the guides. I understand cutting the Lotus Petals, though. I feel like this still wants to be a Simian Spirit Guide deck. Worst case scenario, these guys just... That's still maybe not enough red source, right? Does that be 13 forests? That seems a lot better. Pull off the Lumberjack more often. Working on Pauper Enchantress. Nice, Ike. Yeah, I don't hate the idea of Harvest Worm. I mean, is there a way for me to get back some of these lands that we're using? It's a Harvest Worm. Sacrifice unless you return. Yeah, this guy's neat. I think he is legal in Pauper, even. Yeah. Harvest Worm would get me back the forest we sacrificed off of the Lumberjack. That's true. This is actually not terrible. I don't know if that's where we want to go with this deck, though. Let's see. I've got 4 slots for us. That's another playset of a something we can test. Yeah, like Harvest Worm would be an option. There's the Tree Folk. Yeah, Harvest Worm, Tilling Tree Folk. I feel like Tilling Tree Folk, though, is any card. Isn't Tilling Tree Folk any? This would also not just return... It's just 2 target lands. Run Acid Moss. I think we actually do want to return some of these lands we're sacrificing to either Orcish, or that we're giving up to the crop rotation, or these double lands that get sacrificed. I think we do. I think we are in the market for that. Oof, tribal worms. Let's see, fast mana goes here. One drops are gonna go over here. Like the worm, it creates pressure. The tree folk doesn't do that, says Treebeard. That's true. This also doesn't, however, the snake doesn't get back the, make it a clock lets you win. I mean, there's also this guy, Kavu, but I couldn't make the Kavu work. There's the red-green Kavu, if I could find him. He's like, Horned Kavu. Like, I was trying to make this card work in this deck, too. That's a 3/4 for 2 that would return Lumberjack, or I guess if you're going to go Elvish Pioneer, would return Pioneer. And this is a card I thought about for the deck as well. I mean, I'd rather it return the land to play. I don't think there's going to be anything like that, though. Return land for Pauper in the form of probably a creature. I guess a spell would do it, too. Let's look at all the creatures that do it first. That return lands either to hand or preferably play. I collect Horn Kavus. And let's look at them in red and green mana. Cartographer. Okay, so that gets it back. Great. Okay. So I get a 2/2 that puts a land back in my hand. Okay. But it's any land, whereas the snake is not. Elder Pine of Jakai. Harvest Worm, of course. And Tilly Treefolk. God, there was another Treefolk, though, that did something with our lands. Maybe I'm not thinking of it. Just run the Collodion Tusker and heads to Super Spark. You could. Yeah, I mean, that could be a play, so that would give us another 3-drop. That gets us a land. Excuse me, jeez. Yeah, Tusker. Tusker is another option. That's another 3-drop for the deck. Are you thinking of Crows and Tusker? No, it's not SketchUp. Are you thinking of Crows and Tusker Super Spark? You think of this guy, right? Yeah, I mean, like, Tusker might be exactly what this deck wants. You cycle it, or if you drew in the late game, you drew him in the late game, you get to... in the late game, you can just throw him out there. In the early game, this lets me grab a basic, put it in my hand. And then we also... What's nice is you also draw a card when you do this. Just run Sprouting Vines. Cat Murder, you want me to wombo combo into Sprouting Vines? It's got Storm, really? Yeah, I mean, this might be where this deck wants to go, though. This cantrips, this cycles, and we get a basic. And so, therefore, we have a forest to use for the Lumberjack, and it's kind of a nice process. So we run Sprouting Vines. Okay, this is Storm for grab a bunch of lands. Pretty sure Collodion Tusker's on there. I mean, there are not many cards with Storm that are legal or pauper, to my knowledge. Resale filters. So, you want me to look at all the different Storm potential of pauper? I'm down. Storm options and pauper. So you've got Entity. Oh, no, I think Entity's not. I mean, there's Ground Rift. There's... Okay, it is legal. It's instant, too. Okay. Dan says it's going to be really cute. Does Tusker cycle and tutor land? Storm's my favorite mechanic in Magic. The thing is this doesn't put them into play, though. I guess this would make this card actually playable and busted. Metamorphose is common as well. Is it? Yeah, it is. Anyway. I think we're going to try the Tuskers after all. Some number of Tusker. I don't know if I want to fill out the whole deck with a bunch of Tuskers. You can test Tusker. I actually want to test the Evoke guy. The one that evokes into a 4/4, or if we ramp up really high, we get to play. I think I just want the deck to have a little more meat. I mean, another card that I really liked in this deck that was mid-rangey was, because that's kind of what this deck is, there's also the Spider. I'd like to test maybe Walker or Spider. Goes with the Wayfinder jankiness. That's true. Well, I'd agree that Wayfinder's, like, again, like, I don't have to run Wayfinder. Like, another way that we could put the lands into play more slowly would be the Sakura Tribe Snake. If it's Storm and kills, it's probably banned in Pauper. You know what's funny is that enables a kill, doesn't it? This is, no, it's uncommon. I was about to say, both Lightning Storm and Conflagrate aren't legal in Pauper. Discard land deal. Some sort of discard land deal kind of wombo combo. I don't think that's going to exist in Pauper. Yeah, I mean, like, Seismic is rare. Lightning Storm rare. Isn't it? Or I guess uncommon? Isn't that the uncommon symbol? Yeah, Metamorphose is common. Harrow is common, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can run Lightning Storm. That looks like the common set symbol, but I could try. Just sort based on Pauper. No, it's banned. I was just thinking of an implication for the card that somebody linked me, the one that puts a bunch of lands into your hand. If you had something that could benefit from dumping a bunch of cards all at once, like a Tog. Psychotog isn't going to be illegal though. That'd be just all sorts of jank. You tutor before drawing with Tusker though, right? Yes. It's because when you cycle, you search, and then you draw. I don't know, this isn't necessarily where I want to go yet. Though, I guess another direction we could take this was what? It was the, remember, this is still mostly devoted to mana, right? That's 29 that's just devoted to the mana. Which would mean something like Tusker makes sense. I also like Spider. Spider made more sense when I had the sideboard into a bunch of green devotion creatures, though. I like Spider. Just run Simian Brawlers. I think we either want to run Tuskers or Spiders. Or... what? Brawler? Simian Brawler. With so many lands, why not just run some Landfall? You could. There you go. So, draw... get all the basics in your deck, and then swing with a Brawler, kill them. That's janky. Alright, there you go. I could open a different, like, again, like, I feel like these are kind of where I want to go. How would this beat an Angler or Delver deck? I don't know, Cruden. It doesn't need to. That wasn't the point when I was brewing it. There's a black card, works off discarding lands, I believe, says like. If you can find it, let me know. Yeah, I think Spider is nice and grindy. Bad, but it's hilarious. That's one of the few Storm cards that's legal, though. That might be fun breaking, trying to break. And then they ban it. Typical. Yeah, I like the idea of either Tuskers or maybe Spiders. Jareth says, what does Lumberjack do? Makes 3 mana. Master Jareth, Lumberjack's arguably one of the best mana dorks, and it's not in green. It's red. I just want to fill this spot with something. I know the deck is trying to go to this, but I want the deck to have something to do when we're not drawing the Empath or the E7. I'd like the deck to have something to do. You know? So we got 19 fast mana